Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. It's Saturday morning. Good morning. How y'all feeling? I'm out here this morning on the other phone, on this iced t-shirt sent to me by Africa Islam some years ago. But I'm sitting out here this morning and I'm thinking, after I was watching Roland Martin this morning, Unfiltered, there's a lot going on in the world today. There's a whole lot going on in this world today. And with this administration that's in office right now and all the stuff that they're doing, let's talk about black erasures, erasing our black culture. From the Tuskegee, Harriet Truman, our history, slavery, Jin Crow, everything Martin Luther King and Malcolm X spoke about. They're erasing it. They're taking it out. They're taking it out the school. They're taking out the school books. And we're not doing nothing about it. When we had the Black Panthers, and there was a community organization feeding the neighborhood, J. Edgar Hoover investigated them. It was a gang. It was militant. We weren't allowed to have our own voice and speak the truth. They don't want the truth out. They don't want the truth of all the black inventors that invented things that runs America today. I sit back and I look as a child growing up in the 60s. Civil rights movement. Different leaders, different states, fighting for rights, fighting for equality. Here in 2025, we got somebody sitting up here purposely erasing our history. The point is they don't want anything that we've done better than them to be shown and known to their race. We was proud black people when James Brown came out and said, "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud." Seems like we lost touch with a lot of things consistent within our black communities. Our kids need to be taught. If they're not being taught, we need to give our kids assignments and teach them about what Harriet Truman did. A lot of people use the word Uncle Tom. What up, Yvette Bell? How you doing? A lot of words use Uncle Tom. But a lot of people know that Uncle Tom never snitched on the slave that escaped. Some people use the word Uncle Tom in the wrong phrase. I remember growing up in the South Bronx, mother and father, every family that had a father in the house was there. And somewhere along the line, they figured a way to break it up. You'll have to excuse me. They found a way to break the black family home up with welfare, food stamps. Black man couldn't be in the house. The black man that wanted to work couldn't get a decent job. My father had a fourth grade education, took care of a family of 6 kids, couldn't really read, but he took care of home. My grandfather couldn't even sign his name. He signed his name with an X, but he worked for the housing authority. My family comes from sharecroppers, just like the rest of us families. Sharecroppers, picking tobacco, cotton. With this administration today, just getting rid of everything historically relating to our black culture. And you're not realizing what's really going on. What's going to happen to a lot of black museums that the government was helping fund, just like the one sitting down in Washington, D.C.? Are they going to not give them any more money? I'm going to say this, and I want to keep politics out of it, but when you look at Donald Trump and his whole administration, where's Tim Scott? Where's Donald? Where's all these Republicans, black Republicans? Not one of them have a top job in the cabinet. Trump put all unqualified people in the cabinet, billionaires. We have a South African damn near running the country. What did we do because we black? Like, what was the cause that y'all got so much hate towards black people? Where's the equal opportunity? 1 second, please. They was in a rush to make it known that the helicopter that crashed the other day in the Hudson River, that the pilot of the helicopter was black. But when that military helicopter crashed, they didn't want nobody to know that it was an LGBTQ pilot, Caucasian, in the helicopter. They took their time to put out who was the pilot of that helicopter. You'll have to excuse me because I just got off of chemo yesterday and have my little side effects. When hip-hop came out and we was being positive with the Don't Push Me, I'm Close to the Edge, Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5, or Public Enemy, KRS-One, Parish, Self-Destruction, we all in the same gang. They got rid of those songs. The industry. Let's get the rappers that could make the FU songs and the nigga songs. And let's get the lowest of the barrel so we can put them in jail. Hey, Katie. I live in a world where I see no color. Both my brother-in-laws are Caucasian. Good morning. I live in a community which is dominantly 99% Caucasian. I have no problem with nobody over here where I live at. We got two sets of black people, and we have two sets of Caucasians. I want to make it clear why I'm having this conversation this morning. But it's hard when they want to come up with this DEI. Everything we do, we got to do double work in order to prove ourselves. I be in the supermarket sometime. I'm walking, and a Caucasian person, walking towards me in a shopping cart. We might, trying to get by. And the first thing is, oh, I'm sorry. It's nothing to be sorry about. That's an inferior. Thinking that I'm a black man, I might curse you out or attack you. I have nothing against anybody Caucasian, unless you're racist. Because we have racist black people. We have racists in all races. But to live in this world today and see what this administration is doing, trying to eliminate Malcolm X boulevards, and they're trying to get rid of all the Martin Luther King boulevards in all the cities. They're trying to act like the Tuskegee Airmen never exist, or slavery, or Jim Crow. They took it out from down in Florida from K to 12. They took all that stuff out the schools. So we just supposed to know about Abraham Lincoln and George Washington and shit like that, right? We ain't supposed to learn nothing else. Our kids ain't supposed to learn nothing else. I don't fear being black. I just fear being a target because I'm black. It's a song I was listening to this morning that I'm working on with MC Flowers on his album that we're going to put out. Here's a little part of the song. I'll play it for you. You know what's so funny? We got a lot of racist police officers in these small towns and small cities. And I know sometimes black women get stopped, be a little aggressive. Sometimes you can be scared. But you see how they pull black women out the car and they beat them. They beat them. Black men run, get shot in the back. Don't even have a chance to respond. If you're allowed to have a gun, you gotta be careful. People will call police on you for nothing. I remember when I first moved over here, we first moved here and I would walk in the morning. Been a few times, somebody asked me, am I okay or do I need a ride? Yeah, I'm okay, I don't need a ride. You know, the sheriffs ride around and check out every block. You know, and one morning I was walking back to the house before I was gonna take the kids to school. And I didn't really know that the sheriffs drive up every block, you know, to make sure everything is okay. But as I pulled out to take the kids to school, he was parked on the corner at the end of the block, you know. But the funny thing about this was, I mean, they see me every day. It's okay. But if you live in a community where it's 99.5% Caucasian, elderly, senior citizens, and here you got this black man walking down the street every morning. They all know me now. But the thing I'm trying to say is, like I said, both my brother-in-laws are Caucasian. And both my sisters have been married more than for 25 years. My uncles, Caucasian wives. It's a mix. My grandson, girlfriend is Caucasian. Not because that was his choice. That was grown up around him. Do the color of your skin really make who you are? Or is just your mentality? Your mentality. Yeah, we might have different tastes for food and different things in life, but we can learn to get along with each other. There's been a lot of people of the Caucasian descent that was part of the civil rights movement, that helped the movement. Even let's go back to the boxer, Hurricane Carter, when he was falsely imprisoned in Rahway Prison. It was that young black kid that got those 3 Caucasian people to help get him out of jail. I'm just asking the question, is it because I'm black? What did I do? They took the life of Martin Luther King. They took Malcolm X's life. We have politicians in Harlem that used to protest. But when black protests, we become gangs. When Caucasian protests, just like January 6th, what did the orange idiot say? It was a peaceful protest. What up, Sabrina? 67 years old I am, and I've seen a lot. And we got to stick together. We got to teach our young kids our history. We got to teach them not only our history from historical sites, teach them our history of music, entertainment. This is the world we live in. When you look at the Hispanics and the Cubans and all the Haitians and everybody that's here legally, this is their country too. A lot of people don't know that Donald Trump is German. His family descent from Germany. His real last name, because his grandfather changed it from Drump, D-R-U-M-P-F. That's his real family origin, is Drump. Both his wives are immigrants. His son Barron, Trump's wife was an illegal immigrant when he was born in this country. Well, if you just go and look at all the people in his administration, they're not qualified. But I'm not really trying to talk about that fool. I'm just trying to talk about the erasive of what they're doing. And as I watched Roland Martin this morning, how they're taking out, stripping stuff from government websites that pertain to the culture of black people. We invented a lot of things in this world and didn't get the credit for it. A lot of people don't remember, if you go back to the 1800s, where our great-great-grandmothers were the cooks, raised the kids. They call them nannies. They did everything. Took the kids to school. They even breastfed the kids. They breastfed the kids. They cooked. And the leftovers went to the slaves, the field hands. If you read the story of where soul food come from and how, when they say soul food, it's the lesser food of food. From the pig guts, all that stuff with chitlins and how that became, what is it, soul food. This and that, and collard greens, and macaroni and cheese. When they came to destroy the black family, they were doing the black exploitation movies of how to, not so much the families, but the black women. Even though a lot of us back then didn't really understand what they was doing with all these black exploitation movies that are now classics. But if you always notice that the pimp, the black man became the pimp, the black man had a certain walk, the dip-bop walk, and black women were called bitches in those movies, and they was getting slapped by both sides. Black men and the white men slapped them, treated them bad. The roles that they had to play. The movie with Dinah Carroll in the late Earl James Jones, his sanitation. She couldn't have a man because she was on welfare. You couldn't have an ironing board. You couldn't have this. You couldn't have certain necessities in your house. They're coming to inspect your house. Make sure you was living at bare minimum. If we remember, a lot of our families had, grandmothers had 10, 12, 13 kids. My grandmother had 17 kids. My grandfather was a sharecropper. But if we look at today, what's going on in this world of them erasing everything black, culture-wise, just the same thing they're doing in hip-hop. If they can erase it, they'll put. I'm not going to disrespect Eminem because it ain't his fault, but they would just say Eminem started hip-hop 30 years from now. Or Vanilla Ice. Kid Rock used hip-hop to become where he at now on the rock side because he stayed with me for 3 weeks before when he was starting out. I let him stay with me in Jersey City when I had my building. He watched me through all my hip hop archive, and the first thing he ever did when we worked on his album was the bar, the dang. That was the first thing he ever used. And look at him now. I'm really shocked at Rob Ritchie, because when you came and you stayed with me, Kid Rock, your father owned car dealerships, but you was the black sheep in your family. They wouldn't stay with your man that we called the black man in the projects and slept on his couch. That was your story you told me. And I sat here and let you stay with me and fried you chicken, You had collard greens. I let you sleep in the other bedroom and you was going through my videotapes, old school show tapes, and listening to it. And eventually you got to deal with Jive Records. And at that point, I was working on Rap Mania. And Barry Weiss told Kid Rock, I don't think Van Sook would be a good person to represent you. And that's when he went and got D Nice to work with him. I don't hold nothing against Rob Ritchie. He was a 19-year-old kid. Came up from Detroit, stayed with a friend of his in the same building in Jersey City in Dixon Mills where Latifah lived. And they didn't get along. And he had no place to go. So I said, you can come over here and stay with me. Now, Kid Rock got the deal easy. Just in hip-hop. The Beastie Boys. If one of the other men was alive right now, they can go and get an album deal. No problem. Now, I represent Third Base with DJ Eclipse. They two white MCs. But you know what? They didn't play that side like some other artists do. I know Pete Nice real well. That's the whitest black guy I ever know in my life. Play basketball in the Bronx. But I just go back and look at our history, how it's being destroyed, and how we're not even protecting our own history. We got grandkids, always throw a little tidbit at them. You know, my daughter's playing a song that Dionne Warwick made, but with some other people was singing the song. And I text my three granddaughters to let them know this song was originally recorded by Dionne Warwick, which was produced by Burt Bacharach. I think it was Do You Know Your Way to St. Jose might have been the song. It was one of those Dionne Warwick songs. Because you don't know, remember, when we go back and listen to the Beatles talk on You Want to Make Me Want to Shout or Twist and Shout, that was originally recorded by the Isley brothers, Ronald Isley. But everybody else used the song. The Beatles became popular with the Beatles. Animal House was in Animal House. But that's the Isley brothers song. The blues is our music. Rock, our music. Jazz, our music. But they came up with R&B, rhythm and blues. Chuck Berry, Little Richard, them guys, they're the original rockers. Ain't nobody better than B.B. King and Bobby Blue Bland and Muddy Waters and all these. No, but they took it. But you know what's so sad? You had black producers that was producing these artists, and then you also had the Leonard Chess that had Chess Records, because they was able to get money and funds to keep these artists out there, rip the artists off and all that. But at the end of the day, we all got to do our share of teaching about our heritage. When Lou Rawls used to have his thing back in the day, United Negro College Fund, where's all that? It's gone. Gone. I remember when I did Rap Mania, which was the first hip-hop TV special. Nobody knew about pay-per-view. Good morning. Now, hold on a second. Nobody understood pay-per-view for music. I did it first for music. I got a call from Gerald Busby, the late president at that time of Motown Records. He was running Motown. Steve McKeever started hitting beats, and signed Jill Scott, had just got out of Harvard. Sat down with them because Gerald Busby was grooming me to be eventually president of Motown. Put me on the phone with Stevie Wonder, put me on the phone with Smokey Robinson, put me on the phone with Otis Williams, and listen, I got a young guy here, he's very smart, he understands the music industry, he understands the love for Motown and the Motown sound, and I think years from now he'll be great to run the label. But with my luck, unfortunately, Gerald Busby died of diabetes. But to get back to this story here, I was talking about Don Cornelius got my phone number and gave me a call. And he was asking me about how do the pay-per-view work? And I would explain it to him because if you remember when Don Cornelius had Soul Train Awards, Ladies of Soul Awards, eventually they got swallowed up by Viacom. And they took Don Cornelius' ideas. No more Ladies of Soul Awards. That was gone. The Soul Train Awards, it disappeared. Eventually, Viacom came with the similar shows, and they told Don Cornelius, well, listen, advertisers are not wanting to buy spots in your show. So Don Cornelius said, yo, give me my show back. I'll sell my own show advertisement, which he did. But eventually, Don Cornelius took his life. Still to this day, why? Because y'all took everything this man built from the 70s in Chicago? When he couldn't even get groups to come and perform at Soul Train, something we used to get up every morning to watch. Who was Don Cornelius competitive? Dick Clark, American Bandstand. The All-American Show. And this is where we live at now. They'll take our ideas and fuck it up. Everything. Hip-hop. How did it... Well, hip-hop is what we call it, but the whole section of rap, do you think if it was in the hands of black people that it would be the way it is now? You think we would have female rappers running on stage with thongs on and shaking their ass to the audience? No. What up, Anthony? And it's sad. You can't use the word fat, retard, or it's the R word. Rape is the R word. Like, who came up with this? You say short yellow school bus, they want to cancel culture you. Oh, she was raped, oh, the R word. Hey, listen, the rape is rape, okay? They created the line, you can't beat your kids. The kids deserve an ass whipping and get spanking. Not child abuse. Get a beating. Oh, now they can call the police or child protective on you and you go to jail. But yet the kids out here committing crimes that the parents don't. This is where I look. If your child is out here committing crimes and killing police officers and robbing and doing this, you need to go to jail with them. Hold the parents responsible. A 16-year-old killed a Newark police officer a couple of weeks ago. 10 o'clock at night. What are you doing outside 10 o'clock at night, 15 years old? Every city should have a curfew for teenagers. No sense for a teenager to be out no 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But just the world we live in. It's okay. Because the more black kids can get in trouble, the more can be incarcerated, and the more beds that's being paid for, the more that the judges and everybody make money. They make money off these beds and incarceration. Private prisons. Some people are so uneducated, they thought Michael Jordan, a basketball player, invested in private prison. No, it was a white guy up in Seattle or up in that area of the United States. His name was Michael Jordan. He was the one who invested into the private prisons. I look at YouTube today and they got all these gangbangers calling them rappers. Killing each other. For no reason. Just because I don't like you, I'm going to take your life. With a rule, women and children are untouched. You had this so-called rapper in Texas. Not only did he get killed at the car wash, he killed his 5-year-old daughter. How many times we got to turn around and see that we killing ourselves? The KKK ain't got to kill us. We doing a great job ourselves. We can't go nowhere in a crowd. There won't be violence. The Minister Louis Farrakhan had 2 million man marches. We didn't have no violence. Martin Luther King and them, I have a dream speech, no violence. Nothing. But January 6th, look what happened. And they're trying to say it was peaceful. They're trying to say, oh, the Democrats did that. Oh, so they was doing the count. So the Democrats gonna send people there to disrupt it. Donald Trump calls Mike Pence, his vice president, a traitor. How do you let a man that's convicted 34 times by the peers of his jury, by jury of his peers, and they're going to try to say it was a kangaroo court, where you had an opportunity to have a jury or the judge make the decision. Donald Trump lawyers picked the jury. Never got to go to jail. Attorney General moved slow. Merrick Garland. Miss James in New York is putting all the pressure on Trump. He become president. Everything is suspended now. You got good people that's working in the government leaving because they're saying it's corruption. Donald Trump put all his tariffs out. Stock market went down 5,000 points to Dow. For some reason, certain people in Congress bought stocks. Some people knew that the day of, he goes on Twitter or X or whatever, so this is a good time to buy stocks. Inside trading. Some people made $2 million. He sat there in the Oval Office and said, well, you made $2 million. I heard you made $2 million. I heard you made $900 million. What up, Daniel the OG? But I'm not going to get on here and talk about that crook. This is about our people being erased. Just totally being off government websites. They just taking anything black down here. Like I said, in Florida, all black history can't be taught in schools. No slavery, none of that. It's all gone. The books are going out the libraries. Listen, buy low, sell high. But you know what the problem is to buy low, sell high? The little people get hurt. It's the people that know what's going on that don't get hurt. That's the problem. And we as black people don't stick with each other because we'll cut each other's throat in a minute. It's sad. But like I said, this song right here, yo, that's right. What did I do? You know what's so funny? And I'm talking about the blackness this morning. I'm talking about the blackness this morning because they done took the whole gang culture and put it with hip-hop. So they make hip-hop look bad for those who really are doing hip-hop. I'm not going to sit up here and let nobody tell me about my culture. And we need to teach each other and our younger kids about our culture. Don't let them be influenced by this bullshit, man. And they're doing it right in front of us. This is a track that MC Flowers done. I loved it because I'm listening to his album. You know, when I sit back and I look at Farrakhan, they call this man anti-Semitic. When he was going through neighborhoods, taking the guns away in Chicago, where was the help? You know, our black people are our worst enemies because Al Sharpton might have had some good things he's done. It might have had picked a bad couple cases. But he fought for us. Oh, Al Sharpton just want money. Listen, for him to travel with his staff to go and get with the news media and do this and that, where's it gonna come from? Y'all don't say when the other people, the Jews and all of them give money to their leaders. The black people so worse, black people so much a pocket watching. Y'all don't support the NAACP. Nope. They'll rather give your money to United Way. Now, I say a lot of these organizations might be crooked. The HBCUs, a lot of people that work at these HBCUs and getting all the money from the government for these colleges, a lot of these executives are making a lot of money and they ain't taking care of what they should do. I can understand that. Some black people get in office in certain towns, abuse the money. And see, the first thing when we start talking about our people, oh, what about the white people do it too? But we ain't talking about them. Let's just talk about the young mayor in Dalton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard, who was the mayor and the town supervisor of Thornton. How she abused her power, got in office and disrespected the elder women and abused power and was threatening people, if you don't vote for me, you're not going to get a liquor license. Now they voted her ass out of office and her ass going to go to jail. Okay? We just had a judge that just got arrested. Okay? We had another mayor. Same shit. You got Eric Adams in New York. Everybody in his staff resigned. Trump and them did some shit with him about migrants and he switched the shit. So everything is crooked. But when it comes to our black people, we treat each other like shit. Like I said, to go kill a black man for no reason, because he dissed you, or because he looked at you the wrong way. Mr. Farrakhan did nothing to me. You got Benjamin Crump, the only black civil rights lawyer basically handling all these cases. Why? We got plenty of lawyers out here that could do stuff. News media only want to give you a certain amount of people. They done got rid of most of the black people off network media. Our own people go against Joy Reid and Don Lemon. Oh, fuck them. Your own people. I don't care if they gay or whatever, they still human. Tiffany Cross used to be on CNN gone. I watched the Chris Cuomo's and media, Midas Touch and all these Caucasian people that's standing up basically on stuff that we dealing with more than our own people. Roland Martin, Unfiltered, black owned. You got fan base with Isaac Hayes' social media site. Go join it. It ain't like Twitter. Twitter is almost pornography now. And if you go on Facebook, every other bot post is either Elon Musk or Trump shit. All a bunch of shit that Zuckerman let go through because they ain't fact checking no more. And you don't want to be held or threatened by Trump and his bullshit. And I'm going to speak on it. If you don't like it, too bad. And I don't talk to my own brother when it comes to this stuff because he just don't understand, but you're black. You're in the same category as me and everybody else. We got to do double, triple the work to prove ourselves. They want to come into all this DEI, then you got all these black men attacking Jasmine Crockett, AOC and them, and y'all a bunch of wimps. Donald Trump can get up there and curse and say all kind of shit. As soon as she curses, bad. Here the same man talking about grabbing him by the pussy, and that was okay. Barack Obama said if I said the same thing or did the same thing that he did, they got mad at Barack Obama for wearing a tan suit. He wasn't born in the United States, but you got a South African in the motherfucking White House with some dope shit talking about he's finding all this money. You ain't finding shit. You ain't found nothing. But yet you're getting $8 million a day. You're going to take away your Social Security and Medicaid, 16,000 veterans fired, probationary. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas should have never been a judge. But it's okay, though. It's okay with everybody. You're afraid to even say you're black. You know what? Y'all have a blessed day. Because I wasn't definitely talking about no hip-hop today. I'm definitely talking about something that we all need to look at. When the black families, taking care of our mothers and our fathers and our grandmothers that are old, the elderly are scared to come outside. Young kids will rob them and beat them up. Y'all don't think about that. We cater to the Koreans, Chinese, fake-ass Chinese food, and go, you get your nails done by them, and they talk bad about you. All y'all black women out here talking about your bosses, go open up your own nail salon. Bleaching your skin. Getting lips injection and BBLs. Black women didn't need that shit. Know who? Y'all got fooled by the Kardashians. Because the world tell you that Kim Kardashian or Jennifer Lopez had the best butt in the world, and your black woman fell for the okie wokie. Now you got men out here getting penis enlargements. What kind of shit is that? Y'all out here still catering and buying all the high-end stuff, the Gucci's and the Pradas and the Birkin bags and all that. Y'all can't even afford that shit. All the money these athletes are making, they're not even giving it back to their communities. Oh, so-and-so opened up a school. No, they opened up a school, but it wasn't his money. I ain't gonna call that person out. But I know when Derrick Rose opened up his school, it came out of his pocket. I know when Deion Sanders had that academy in Texas, that came out of his pocket. I know Michael Jordan did his stuff, that came out of his money. But you got certain people who getting donations to do stuff in their name. Like LeBron James is so proud, or I'm the first man to have, the black man to have a Barbie Ken doll. Are you kidding me? You proud to have a Barbie doll, the first black Ken doll? Why didn't you get a G.I. Joe doll, so you want to get a Ken doll with Barbie? You proud of that? Like I said, to each his own. Now our black people get into this industry and they sell their soul. They sell out the next person. They steal your shit, your ideas. I'm looking at this whole situation right now that's going on with what's that channel? Well, one of the reality shows, and homeboy basically X'd out the 3 people that helped him get it there. He out here buying mansions and all that, all kind of shit. Same thing with the women that running Black Lives Matter. You went out and bought mansions and homes and all these donations of money and shit. Where'd it go? You got Vance Jones that got all this money from Jeff Bezos, $100 million. What you doing with this shit? Oh, well, you can't help your black people. This is what we gonna do with the money. What you doing with that $100 million? You know what one thing I learned in this business, in this world? Black people get money, or they put you in a situation, when they put black people in a situation, you're not allowed to help your friends. You're not allowed to put them on. We don't need too many black people running around, because we don't really have any black entertainers that are really billionaires. Not if you go by valuations, you're not really a billionaire. If you go and look at Elon Musk, he's not worth $400 billion. That's the valuation of SpaceX, valuation of Tesla. If the stock falls, if the stock falls down to nothing, he could be worth less than $100 million in a quick second. But people don't understand valuation. That's why they had a show like Shark Tank to teach you what's the valuation of something. It's called a projection. The same thing with Kanye West, with all the deals that he had, and said that he was a billionaire. No, it's the valuation. Once he lost those deals, the valuation is gone. You was never a billionaire in paper money. You was a billionaire in valuation. He will always call Forbes, talking about, I need to be on the list. I need to be on the list. Forbes magazine is the worst. But people don't understand. Being black in this country, we don't support black. We'll go out and buy everything else. You can spend all this money for a Gucci bag, but if a black woman made a bag, custom designed, because her name ain't Gucci, she can't sell that bag for $3,500 or $4,500. Because it ain't Gucci. It ain't Prada. It ain't Birkin. It ain't the brands that they push in your face. I don't get mad when somebody go and buy a bootleg Gucci bag, because you're buying it for the print. Some people don't even know they don't care about the quality. Just like you have bootleg sneakers. Bootleg Air Force One. Hey, they just say, I got it. It's not even about the quality no more. But it's the black people. We spend all the money for stupidity. You ever hear a black person say, my car is in the shop? This is the conversation. My BM is in the shop. It's still a fucking car. It's in the shop. Who cares if it's a BM? Everything got to be by name. Yeah, I went out today. I'm going to get dressed, man. I'm going to throw on my Gucci shoes. I'll be out in a minute. I'm just throwing on I'm going to throw on my shoes. I'll be out. I got name shit by name just to let somebody know, I got some pair of Gucci, or I got this and that. It's a bunch of nigga shit. We all came from paper plates and plastic forks and government fucking cheese. Okay, ain't nobody was born rich with a silver spoon in your mouth. And then all of a sudden, those who was born in the ghetto want to act rich, and those who was born with some kind of middle class upbringing, you want to be ghetto. I feel sorry for the young men today trying to be in the dating scene, because you chose them by what kind of car you got, or how much money it's going to cost you to take me out. Then she got to put the design fucking clown outfit on with the weave and the eyelashes and the million pounds of makeup on. You could be dark as shit. Next thing you know, you light skinned. When time you take that shit, you're like, whoo, what the fuck is that? Guys out here getting lines in their hair and what the fuck is going on? Man, cut your hair bald. Guys out here getting toupee wigs and shit. Braids and all kind of shit. That ain't the real you. Now you got niggas getting butt lifts. Like, are you serious? You ain't proud of what God gave you? I don't understand these guys. They fall for a woman that got all this makeup on to make them look cute. But in real life, that's not her. The kid's gonna come out looking not like the makeup version, the real version. I ain't proud of my nose, get my nose done, and this and that, and get my cheeks done. You ain't proud of what God gave you. Ain't nothing like a natural woman, a natural human being. Girls out here getting all this BBLs, and they talking about BBL stinks. And you gonna talk about keep it real? Ain't nothing on you real. I watch girls make up that look. I'm sorry, y'all got to excuse me. Wildebeest to the point, and they learn how to design their makeup to make them look cute. But man, they gotta wash that shit off sometime. That's the real them. We got a lot of work to do in the black community, man. Everybody need to take their own block by block and work it together. We don't need to march and protest. We just need to do shit better. But it's your brother Van Silk. Y'all have a blessed Saturday. Me, I'm going to go ahead and watch some TV. Keep up with what's going on in the world. Find out what's going on in the world. So I'm going to give you a little shout out again to the song that I'm thinking about working on. I got called Flowers because yeah, what did we do because we've been black? Tell me, what did we do? So I got a few things I got to do today. I still ain't forget about Spit or Quit. The Hip Hop Summit, August. The 52nd anniversary of hip hop in September. There's a lot of things going on in hip hop. And we got to maintain our legacy. We got to maintain our dignity as humans. I'm a black man. I ain't got nothing against nobody of no shades and no color. Because some of the most racist people are your own people. You know? That's the way I see it. Everybody got their own version of how they see it. Everybody got their own version of what they're entitled to in life. But at some point, the crossroads, we're going to have to cross. But as long as they're taking our history out of the schools, the kids can't learn. What's going to happen in 20 years from now where they don't know nothing about Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or Marcus Garvey or Harriet Tubman and Rosa Parks and Jesse Jackson and Andrew Young and Ralph Abernathy and all these people? What's going to happen? We used to have Adam Clayton Powell. They used to uproar Harlem. That's why they call it Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard. They made the Black Panthers out to be a gang. Black Panther was never a gang. Y'all made them that. We can never be 3 or 4 in the corner we consider the gang to the police. Police brutality. People need to learn their constitution and their rights and their amendments. As long as you don't teach yourself anything, they're always going to abuse the power. Half the police officers don't even know why they even took an oath. They don't know. A lot of people don't know what a FOIA request is. Our own people get in power and treat us bad. Some of y'all might even be worse than slave masters. You get money, you treat your person, you treat your friends like shit. You act like you're better than them. No, we the same. You just was lucky. You was given that situation. I remember K. Slay used to take care of so many people that was in jail, commissary money. That was his heart. A lot of brothers are incarcerated wrong. Doing life for bullshit. Just like this whole Carmelo Anthony kid that stabbed that kid. The way they was trying to make it seem like he was the aggressor, but he wasn't the aggressor. Them kids came to him and told him he couldn't be there. And he told them, don't come at me like that. And eventually, he ended up stabbing the kid, and they don't try to make it like he was the aggressor. But that's not how it happened. And we need to realize we need to stand up for stuff like that, because the police officers will write up a report just to make that young black man go to jail. And young black kids, y'all need to study, get off the streets. I watch stuff on TV in different cities and they promote the gang violence. Everything is promoted, the gangs in the streets, and nobody is doing nothing for us. No, you ain't doing nothing for yourself. All y'all want to be on the streets and want to talk about how bad it is. No, you made it bad. Y'all don't even clean up your own block. Y'all get money. The first thing you want to do is go and buy a car, jewelry, and floss. And then you want to blame the white man. No, you went and bought their product. Fake ass Moissanite jewelry and all that shit. Jewelry don't make who you are. So like this whole Floyd Mayweather shit. I had a conversation. I knew damn well you ain't buy no 62 properties in New York for $402 million. One of them bills alone is worth $400 million. Come on. Why don't you just say you was a minority investor into the firm and you want to walk around talking about you own the 62 buildings and all? No way in the world. And I was looking it up. I think I might even had a conversation with somebody. How the hell he gonna buy 62 properties in prime location in New York City and Manhattan for $400 million? No way in hell. You got one building, 666 Fifth Avenue is worth more than almost $1 billion. Trump Plaza is, Trump Towers is probably worth by itself more than that. And you're gonna buy 62 prime location properties, and now everybody's getting at you about that. Especially I'm a minority investor in properties. First of all, you have to even tell people you're a minority investor running your mouth. But that's just the problem with black people. Talk too much. Good morning.
Good morning. She was so rude when she looked at it.
You know, the loudest one is the weakest one. Brag. Everybody's in competition. Robert F. Smith, the billionaire, gave University of Georgia, pay all everybody tuition. You get the Black Museum, DC, $25 million. You know he might have a white wife and all that. That's his business. It's just the point is the loudest person is the weakest person. Michael Jordan just opened up another wing, another fourth hospital in North Carolina. Michael Jordan's not even on social media. He don't have no Twitter, no Instagram. He don't do that shit. He don't go up there and brag about what I do. He just do it. If somebody want to put it out there that Michael Jordan did this, so what? But the point is, if y'all sit up here, Michael Jordan don't speak out, he don't do this. If you go down, you know, he don't really own the team no more. How many people got jobs because of that? How many people he's really employed? He made sure at Nike that all the executives that worked for his company were black. But we don't talk about blackness. We don't own shit. Puffy didn't own Revolt TV. A lot of people don't even know that Maxine Waters was the one who orchestrated the deal for Revolt, Bounce TV, and Magic Johnson's network. She was involved with getting these deals done. If you go to any of these companies, all the chief financial officers are Caucasian. Black men ain't got no ink to sign and no pen. Like Roc Nation is owned by Live Nation. They own Ticketmaster. They own a bunch of stadiums, fucking venues. Roc Nation is a subsidiary of Live Nation. They get funding from Live Nation to run that company. Live Nation's on the stock market, not Roc Nation. That's how business is. Get all the blacks to come over here at Roc Nation. That's why Kanye and all them was over there. Kanye broke out. I don't want to be in this shit. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. You ain't gonna hold me captive. So he went AWOL. He did that to get out. He went on the Jews and all that shit just to get away from them, because you ain't gonna have me sitting here telling me what to do, because you took my mama. You ain't gonna take me. You ain't gonna hold me and have me do what y'all want me to do, what I don't want to do. When you get into this type of deal, they tell you what to do. You don't have no choice. They tell you when to tour, when not to tour. When last time you seen Rihanna on tour? Beyonce gonna go on another tour again, because we gonna milk this cow till it's over. That's how they do it. You got guys like Sumner Redstone and all these old guys that own these companies. They sit back and they billionaires. You don't get to see them. You don't get to see them. You will never get in the room with them. You don't see none of these white music executives around none of these black artists. No, we already got the hired Negro. Same thing they did in boxing with Don King. They do Don. Now they doing Al Heyman. They don't want to be in the picture. Their families and kids are already eating off of what they doing and stuff. You got Jake Paul, who's not even a real boxer. 20 million followers, doing all these exhibition fights and making just as much money as Tyson or Holyfield or even Mayweather made off of bullshit exhibition shit. When black people realize, listen, we need to stop patronizing these establishments. Our women need to get back in the kitchen to cook home meals. It's good to go out once in a while. But every goddamn day you giving your money to somebody else. You go and get an oxtail dinner, what that shit is, like $35? Do you have to have it? I seen a stupid post. Somebody said, well, if you'll stop killing the chickens, the egg prices will go down. So if you stop killing the chickens, the price of eggs going to go down. So now, if you don't kill the chickens, then you ain't going to have no chicken. Stupid. Listen, I bought me a whole chicken, organic chicken yesterday, and it'll going to last me 5-6 days. I bake it, minimum seasoning, and I'll have me some vegetables with it and some rice, and that's going to last me. I don't go to McDonald's and all these places to sit up here and patronize fake-ass meat and food, and you don't know what you're eating, spending $5 for a bullshit-ass hamburger. Black people's been so consumed that y'all got a whole kitchen and y'all sit out here and go to the Chinese restaurant. You can learn to make that shit yourself. Shit ain't hard. It ain't hard. Bring them on camera. No, not today. I don't know how many people was on here. But I'm going to say y'all have a blessed day. I got to make a few phone calls. I got this other phone. It's got all up in my face. I'll talk to y'all later.